everybody, welcome to the Beachpreneurs virtual table topics. I'm Kelly McCausey.
I'm Nicole Dean.
My partner in beach crime. And we're joined today by our guest, Laura West from Joyful Business.
Round of applause.
Laura, I love the background for you when you're, in your video. I love the lights and the art and the butterfly. You're so fun.
Yes, I just love to make it fun and joyful, and that's part of my, that's part of my elixir of how I get into it. It's like, oh, I get to be with the fairy lights today, so it makes it more fun to do something live on video.
Part of your elixir.
Elixir, do you like that word? Joyful elixirs.
I like that a lot. But next time you're in Pensacola, you need to come over and help me snazz up with some fairy lights.
Yeah, anytime. Me and my fairy lights will travel. I'll bring you your own fairy lights. I think everybody needs to have some fairy lights.
I'm with you.
That'll be my whole big, wise quote from this this thing today. Everyone needs to have fairy lights for everybody.
Fairy lights for the world.
And picturing Oprah and fairy lights for you and fairy lights for you.
And everybody's like, oh my God, fairy lights.
Laura, that needs to be your thing. There needs to be a bonus that you give away when someone signs up for something.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. They would love that, and they get that surprise thing in the mail. It's like,
yep. Yes. There's a cute, I saw it just last night when I was shopping online, a little kids art project. It's string art. There's a little metal form and you put fairy lights inside and then you wrap string around it, different colored string, and hang it up. And
oh, cool.
I'm like, I want that.
That's cool. Was that at a Michael's, or where was that at?
It was at the grocery store in the craft department.
Oh, wow.
We could totally do that at Beachpreneurs.
That's where I was going. I was going to the retreats.
Yeah, and then everybody have them in their little background for their videos, and that'd be so special.
So Laura, you're all about joyful business.
Yes.
That's your thing. What does it mean to you to have a joyful business?
It's I can tell you how it started, and then I can tell you how I'm keeping it alive. But it, back in the late 90s when I was in corporate, I was VP of marketing in the shopping center industry. We managed like 50 shopping centers around the country. And in 6 years, I went through 5 buyouts and mergers. And it was so debilitating, and I totally lost any joy that I had in doing marketing, and it was such a pressure cooker. So when I finally realized I wanted to start my own business, found coaching, was so excited, but I had this thought that joy matters. It matters that you're happy at work, and because I was not in that environment for 6 years or 5 years. And then I found this study that talked about being happy at work and having joy at work. And that, it proved what I knew intuitively, but it was that idea that when you're happy at work, you're more confident and you're more likely to pick up the phone. You're more creative. So you get that cool idea for your article or your video. You're more innovative. So you're more likely to take some risk. And to me, that's oh my God, that's the Holy Grail. I'm such a believer that when we feel good, then we do good. And do good might be doing good for others. It's doing good for yourself. So I'm all about how do you get your energy in alignment with your joy, let your joy into your business, because then, you're more likely to pick up the phone and call that potential client, right?
Yes.
Yes.
That's true, whether you work for yourself or whether you're working for other people in some capacity as well. If you're excited about it and happy and that you're happy to be working, then you are more productive. I totally agree with that. And like, just from a managerial point, I know that my team members jump through hoops. They go above and beyond. They don't just do what I ask. They come to me with ideas when they're feeling happy and joyful with their work, as opposed to not. And that's really obvious. So I've definitely seen that in my life as well.
True story.
True story. Yeah, it is. It's like to me, I always say that joy is a productivity tool. It's like the best productivity tool, because when you're plugged into your joy, it's just what Nicole is saying, that it's like the ideas come, and then the confidence comes that says, yes, I want to help you. Yes, I've got this cool idea. You move forward with actions, and yeah, and it takes, just to be real, like it takes cultivating your joy, because we don't always wake up feeling joyful. Sometimes we have a headache, or we got allergies going on, or we've got a lot of things going on around us. And so it's I find that if you can be purposeful about that, then it makes all the difference. So I put fairy lights up.
I was preach.
Yeah.
Amen.
But it's so funny though, because it's like we're here like, yeah, preach, all right, that's it. And yet so many people are like, joy in business. My first husband was a banker, and he was like, what? What are you doing? And it's like, not, it's foreign to a lot of people. Or when you're feeling good, it's like, oh yeah, joy in my business. I put up the fairy lights, and then 2 days later, you could be like, oh my God, what am I doing? I have fairy lights in my video. Who's going to take me serious? You can talk yourself out of your joy and second guess it. That somehow you're not supposed to be that joyful in business. I mean, you guys do this so amazing and so well. You just keep following your joy. But a lot of people, I would say maybe in this community, we follow the joy and then we push it away. And we have this dance that we do with joy. I don't know, does that resonate, or you guys see that?
Yeah. Well, it's that crazy dance between essence and ego, where essence goes, I got the joy down in my heart. And ego goes, but do it right.
Be professional.
Right. This up.
But,
You
okay.
are. Yeah.
Have your joy. I love the whole idea of the elixir. So the fairy lights are part of your elixir, the butterflies, the art. What else goes into your elixir?
Into my, well, this morning, lots of times in the morning, I have a routine that I do. I try to do most mornings, like I was journaling. I was looking for joy flow sightings, which is like evidence of abundance and success. Spent time outside waiting for the next hummingbird to come by while I was journaling. Lots of times I take a walk by the river, because water makes me feel so good. And so it's like I do those things purposely and put them into my schedule so that, I get my body, it's like I plug in, and really get the joy flowing, so that, then when I show up here, it's like, I'm plugged in, Yeah.
I find that self-care makes me more profitable. Just period.
Yes. And it's so, and sometimes it can seem so, like we get it when we're really in our joy, like, oh yes, of course. And then when we're stressed, it's like, that's the first thing to go, right? It's like, oh no, I can't afford a massage, or I better not. I mean, I'm supposed to be on a staycation this week, because my beach trip to the east coast of Florida got canceled because of the hurricane. And I went to leave early to go get a pedicure yesterday. And I'm like, oh no, I should be working on that campaign. I shouldn't go get a pedicure. And it was like, I have to get conscious about it and allow myself to be in that joy, that self-care. Taking care of myself makes me feel good. When I feel good, I do good.
Anybody in the room have a thought about joy in your business, or a question for Laura that you're curious about?
I've got a massage scheduled for this afternoon, so
Yay.
My monthly massage.
I just joined a program for the, we have a new massage place that opened up, and I just joined so I can make sure I get a monthly massage. It's like,
Well, I'm very fortunate because my masseuse is so busy that I have to schedule out months in advance. So I have my massage booked all the way probably into March or April at this point. So I'm very lucky because she's so good that I'm like, okay, if I want a spot in March, and I gotta book it now, because who knows what'll be going on in March. So I mean, I see that as a blessing, you know, for her too, because she's so amazing. But
right.
yeah. Does anyone have any questions? Otherwise, I'm going to start asking. Come on.
I did want to, so talk about joy. I won, like, if there's a prize for being fun yesterday, I won it. Like, I got the badge, I got the t-shirt. The Stretch Yourself Challenge is going on in September, and this year we did teams. So there's Team Bold with Val and Team Shine with Tisha. So everybody is broken into those two teams just for a little extra talking smack and having fun and encouraging each other. And there's balloons on the cover of the book. I had this crazy idea and made it happen. I sent balloon deliveries to both Tisha and Val just so that they could have that visual of like, we're partying now. And they were both just like freaking out, like, too fun.
That's fun.
Tisha's dog is not sure what he thinks about all those balloons, but that gave me so much joy to do.
Yes. Yes. That whole idea of like, part of it, it's both an inner and an outer joy job, right? It's like cultivating your own, like through self-care and your rituals and routines, cultivating your own joy. But then how can you bring joy to others?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm just imagining they get this unexpected balloon delivery at their house and they're like, oh my God, like, you can't help but be excited and happy about that. And then that rush of joy and excitement plus thoughtfulness, then of course they're going to want to share it, and it just creates this ripple effect.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
Ellie, that's why you're the queen of community, because you just get a crazy idea, and crazy ideas are the best ideas. So, ego can shut up and just let us and say, we're doing this.
Yeah. Yeah. All ego said was, I just can't even.
Ego went, I'm going to lose this fight anyway, so I might as well just sit over here still.
Yeah.
That's
so great.
So I'm going on a cruise in a couple of hours.
In a couple of hours.
Yes. We have to actually take a bus to a different port because our port got closed because of the hurricane, but they didn't cancel, so yay. And the last time we went on a cruise, I made it a point to make sure that every day I complimented somebody who looked like they were having a bad day. Because how can you have a bad day on a cruise? But people do. So this year this time I'm taking it a step further, and I have brought wish tokens with me.
Oh, nice.
If you can see them, and they say good for one wish, and I am going to randomly give them out to people who look like they are sad on the cruise.
Aww.
So I just packed them, and I had one in my desk drawer. I'm like, oh, I can show you.
That's why you're my favorite. You and Laura and Kelly and Tracy and Jessica and.
You're backtracking now. Raven was the favorite, and then you backtracked. I caught that.
I got all my sisters. I got all the favorites. And Sam. And Cindy and Pam. I don't know you well, or Liz.
She could be her favorites.
It's expansive. Okay, well, I have a question. So I understand the joy, self-care and making joy, like personal care, investing in that in order to invest in our businesses. But like, what's some practical, like, business applications for having joy in your business? Like, how do you not make that happen, because you don't want to force it, but like, in your business, if there's just things that feel not joyful, then what are some actionable steps that you would take to bring joy back to that part of your business?
Yeah. So yeah, there's parts of our business that maybe we're not excited about, or that are more challenging, or we don't know how to do, or we just don't want to do. You know, like bookkeeping is not something that brings me joy. The outcome brings me joy. I love seeing everything, like, you know, knowing where I'm at, like that feels really good, to know where I'm at with my income and my expenses and all of that. So one thing is I delegate, you know, it's like, who can I delegate that to? Give the parts of my business that don't bring me joy to the bookkeeper, to my virtual assistant. I think that's really key. Or to even have a person who can do projects, you know, just those projects where there's, I call it friction. Like I always look for where is their flow and where is their friction. And so when there's friction, something has to be done, you know, so it's like either you delegate it, or I might call in a friend and just, I need to talk through it to work out the friction, you know, kind of really get clear about where the friction is so that I can decide what to do about it. I might ask my coaches, like you guys, sending one of my 911 emails, like, help. So you don't want to be doing it alone. And then the other thing is, lots of times I just walk away and I go take the river walk, or I go journal. The different personal systems, you know, what's your personal joy elixir that's going to put you in a better mood, so that when you're in that better mood, you're just open to more solutions. And it's like, oh, you know, maybe that article really isn't that hard. If I just sit my butt down, I could take that idea that I had and just see where I go with it. And, you know, you don't feel so much pressure, and you're able to get back into the flow instead of the friction.
Totally agree. And I always look forward to those 911 emails.
You look forward to them.
I do. I'm like, okay, we can tackle this. But one of the things I love about outsourcing is the diversity in people, and what brings joy to one person does not bring joy to another, and vice versa. So like that's with my coaching clients a lot of times. I'm like, okay, if you're struggling trying to do this thing that you don't like and it's hard and friction, I always say struggle, but friction, then to someone else, they may absolutely be in their joy doing the books. They're a number person. They get in the zone. They turn on some music. They're doing the books. They're having fun. They're straightening things out, making order out of chaos, and just digging it. So why hold on to that when you're not happy, when it could literally bring someone else joy? They'll do it better. They'll do it more efficiently. I mean, just the energy there, you can feel that. Why am I holding on to this thing when I'm blessing someone else with the opportunity to do what they love and what brings them joy?
Yes. Yeah. I know my VA, we moved to, as you guys know, we moved to Infusionsoft last winter. And when I announced to her, I'm like, okay, we're moving to Infusionsoft. She's an introvert, quiet, conservative. She was like, oh my God, that is the best news ever. I can't wait. And I'm like, thank God. I'm not into that. She just loves Infusionsoft, you know, brings her joy. I've never seen her so joyful.
And so you're feeling like, oh, this weight. And she's like, woo, give it to me.
Yes. Right. She's in the flow, and she's doing her, you know, her beautiful brilliance, you know, she's in her flow and her, yeah.
Laura, I'd love to hear you tell a little story about what it was like when you helped a client tap into their flow and get, like you say, in alignment with what they're bringing to the table. Just love to hear, like, what was it like? To think of a person and tell us, what was it like to see that person get into the flow?
Yeah, I'm thinking, I mean, it happens all the time, because I think that's what my secret sauce is. You know, I'm help people get into their joy flow, you know, or what I call Mentum, you know, so that it's in the flow instead of all the friction. You know, they are in possibility land instead of feeling like things can't happen. And, you know, like I'm thinking of one person in particular recently, and she's in this place of kind of semi-retirement. Like she's been a former PR person. She's done the big coaching programs, been a business coach, and she's at this place in her life where she wants to be creative, wants to stay engaged, wants to share her wisdom, loves to teach, loves to coach, but she really doesn't want to do it full time. And so we had this coaching, a couple of coaching sessions, and it's like we really just got into her personal definition of success and let go of the old expectations of what you should have done, what you could do, the way it was 10 years ago, what people think retirement should look like, like this is a new definition. This is her personal definition of success. And so that was part of it. And then we found like her beautiful brilliance is she's doing these journaling workshops that are taking people really super deep, and they're having all sorts of awarenesses and healing and ahas. And we looked at how could she do this in an easy way, and we came up with the idea of collaborating at retreat centers and Miraval and Canyon Ranch and all these places that would fill them for her, so she wouldn't have to do all this marketing, and she could do the work that she loves, make some money. And for me, I just feel my heart expand, when I feel like I help someone get back into the flow, start realizing their potential of what their unique potential is, not what somebody else said their potential is, but like when they really get in alignment with their potential, it's amazing. It's like we, unleash I was going to say unleash the Kraken, but it's not the Kraken. But it is the power of that. It's like we unleash the creative power.
My son would say, yes to Kraken, fill my cup. That's a booze. Oh, I love hearing you talk about working with your clients, because you just light up.
Yeah. They, it's just work that I love so much, every now and then, over the last almost 20 years, you have those moments where things shift or come together or collide or combust, and, you're like, okay, is this still what I want to be doing? And every time I check in, it's just like, this is amazing work, and, we're not taught this when we grew up. We were taught things about working hard and hard work will be rewarded, or we're not, and we had lots of messages about we're not good enough, comparing ourselves to other people, all sorts of things. And this idea that you actually can influence, and really influence your day. You can create your day. You can tap into your creative power. And then it makes a difference, and it'll change everything. To me, I just can't get enough of it, when I see people light up, and it's something we have to do over and over again. Like we do it one day or 1 week, and then we forget, we get out of sync, or stuff in life happens. And it's like, how do you keep coming back to that joy and lining up with joy, both inside, but also how can you give joy to others? I feel like I just said a mouthful. Yeah.
Any questions or comments from the group? You guys can jump in anytime with a thought or a question, or just an amen.
Amen. They're good. One of the things that I do with my clients is we spend, like my private clients, we spend some time getting really clear about what I call their beautiful brilliance. And if I can talk about that for a minute, because that might help people, it's joy, like fairy lights bring me joy, but there's also a deeper part to this, where you feel like you're really in alignment and you're really being well used in your business and in life. And beautiful brilliance is looking at your expertise, your what you do now, but even what you did in the past. And we'll actually outline their job history, their career history, or significant projects, or whatever significant things in their life, and bring all that experience forward of things that they're like, oh yeah, I know how to do this, or challenges they've overcome. We look at what their strengths are, what their passions are, and bring in their personality. There's personality quirks I know you guys know this, but there's things that, you know, where people said, oh, that's weird, or that's, like, people always would tell me, you're so calm, like you're so quiet, that it felt like this bad thing, you know, because what's revered is being like, oh, bubbly and more assertive, which is what I was always told in my 20s. And now I've come to realize, like, I can be creative and joyful and still be like calm inside and bring my presence out. And that actually gives people safety. So bringing this whole, looking at your whole combination of these qualities is your beautiful brilliance. And that when you're in that, letting out your beautiful brilliance and bringing that into your business, that it's when your business becomes fun and people really get, like, you're in the most aligned, like you're really, people just get, like, you're, you know, we always talk about being authentic, but if you don't know what your authentic self is, it takes some time, some excavating to say, oh yeah, that's what it is. And some permission to say, you know, to let yourself come from that beautiful, brilliant, authentic place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Letting go of other people's definitions and expectations.
Yes. Yeah.
Have you seen Shrek the Musical?
Uh-uh.
Okay, the final song in Shrek the Musical is "Let Your Freak Flag Fly."
Yes.
I would totally play it in the background for you. We could have a dance party.
That's totally it. It's totally, and it's so funny because usually most of us got messages, whatever our freak flag was, you know, you're too bold, too loud, too quiet, you know, too different, you know, those are, it's actually the secret now to what will help you have your business stand out, and have you, like, when you let that come out, people, they just get it. They get, like, you're being you. And even though it might be different, they're just like, you know, she's really authentic, you know, with her butterflies and fairy lights and artwork.
When I heard a lot growing up is "you're too much." What does that even mean? Like, so, like, how do you not? Okay.
Right. Right.
What does that mean?
Yeah. And some people would look at, like we were talking about in the beginning, like, oh my God, you're going to take a month out of your life and go to Croatia to live, work, and play. And like, how can you do that? You know, what about your kids? What about this? Like, is that allowed? And it's like, you're like, you're breaking the rules, you know? And it's like, but this is how I want to live my life, you know? And so people will look at my life and it's like, you travel all the time and you're always mixing business, you know, a business trip and staying with friends. And they're like, you know, it's almost like they don't have permission to do that, or they just kind of are in awe that I, you know, choose to do that with my life, you know, choose to live it the way I want to live it.
Oh yeah, I've gotten comments like that before, like, don't you have kids? Which implies you're a crappy mom. And it's
Right,
like,
right.
yes, I do have children and they're fine. They know they're loved.
Yes, and they're going to be filled up even more and inspired even more in their life by having mom, you know, go on these trips. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the thing, is I want to model that for my children, that when they choose to have kids, that they do not need to be a martyr for 18, 24, however many years. They get to still have a life, and they can hand me the babies and they can go have adventures, and they don't have to put their lives on hold for that time and have life pass them by watching other people do things. Go do them. Your kids will be fine. They really will. And then when they're parents, if they choose to be parents, then they get to live too, because we're not guaranteed time. I'm not going to wait until I'm 65. What if I don't get to be 65? I want to have life now and enjoy it. And I'm not going to wait for that. There's no pause button. So,
and I think that is such a great modeling of, like, be in your joy now, because because then that just makes you a better mom, right? Because when you'll be a happy mom. You know, we need happy moms.
The one that's sitting on the victim martyr spot for 20 years of, oh, look at what they get to do. Oh, that looks so fun. I wish I could do that, but I can't. You know, I mean, what kind of a message is that sending? And I mean, I've heard that message before, so I definitely wanted to not have my kids feel like they're holding me back from being happy, because they're my greatest joy ever, and I don't need to sit here in the house for 24 years to prove that to them.
Yes.
Right.
I love it. And that's your personal definition of success, right? So it's like when you're living in your own, what success looks like in your life and your bigger life, it's like that just creates a ripple effect of everybody gets excited. They can't help it. They might have their own stuff come up, but it makes you a better person that you're able to be that fulfilled and that well used, and it just adds to your joy and creativity.
And it is interesting because I feel like by modeling that and through, my blog posts and my email, some people get uncomfortable with it and they unsubscribe, which, is fine. But I feel like other people go, oh, is that really a possibility? And so it opens that for themselves to consider. Maybe I could do that too. Maybe not a month, but I could do something, So I like the thought of that other people are having those neurons firing in different ways, and their synapses, and they're starting to think differently, like, wow, you can do that and still be a good mom. These stories that they're playing in their heads get a little bit of a pattern interrupt, and possibility is there.
Yes. I think that's so part of what we can do for people is that pattern interrupt, or that, and also giving them ideas, like you said, they don't even know that's possible. Or like my walk by the river, I take these pictures when I walk by the river because it gives me peace and gives me joy, and I always get inspired. I'm listening to podcasts, I always get great ideas. But it's purposeful, like you have to be purposeful about it. You have to say, yes, I'm creating the time, and this is important enough for me to go do this. And get out and do it. You guys are so great about modeling that, about going to the beach and things like that. And I think people need to see that in action.
When we take a stand, we become an invitation to others. And some of them, like Nicole, like you said, some of them will lean in and get curious and wonder how they could do something similar. And some people, they accept a whole nother invitation, and that is to disagree with you.
Mm-hmm. And some people will disagree, and some people will resist. And what I have found is that if they disagree, they just go away, and that's fine. Like you're not meant to be there for everybody. But when they resist, that means they're staying. And there's some level of curiosity, and I used to get a little concerned, like if I had a resistor, I called them resistors in one of my teleclasses back when we did teleclasses. And it was like, oh, there's that person again. She's always resisting everything that I say, like challenging. And what I have found is like when you stay with the resistors, not in defense, but just like in communication and connection, they become like your raving fans, because it's like there's a piece there that they're actually curious about, that they're willing to engage with you on. And so I have found that resistors are, they usually become my most raving fans.
Yeah, a lot of times those people just need a little more time to process what they want and if it's possible, and if you're the person to give it to them. And then once they do decide, they've made a commitment. They are fully in. This was not a knee-jerk reaction. They're like, all right, okay, I'm in.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And some people are quick processors, and some people, like, they need time. I think that's a big piece of that, when it's a new idea, and especially if they're going outside their comfort zone.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm pointing in the right direction, but Raven is the yes, I'm going to do this. She's the hell no, hell yes. Like, because when I brought up Croatia, she's like, okay, I've already applied. I've got a phone call tomorrow. And I'm like, I thought we were talking about it. So I'm like, okay, I better apply. I got to hold on. Keep up. Oh, thank God for the Ravens of the world in my life.
I want to save time to talk about beach events. So Laura, what's coming up next for you? How can people come and spend time with you, learn more about you? What do you got going on?
Well, the big thing that's coming up right now is my next Fun and Fabulous follow-up 30-day challenge. Starts September 30th. And I've done it, I did it last spring. We had over 100 people. It is the simplest thing, and it is so fun and so amazing, like the results. And if I can just say a little bit about it, that it's 30 days. And the super simple idea is that you reach out to 3 people every day for 30 days. And it's funny because a lot of people who, especially people who are in more online marketing, they're like, oh no, well, I don't network, so I don't need to follow up. But actually, all your opportunities happen through other people. So following up or reaching out might look like, reaching out to Kelly and saying, hey, Kelly, how can I be on your podcast, or whatever. Or how can I speak at your event? Or do you have a referral for me? Or would you promote, be an affiliate and promote for me? Those are all different types of follow-ups. And this program is so much fun. I give you all sorts of ways to follow up, all sorts of creative, fun ideas for how to reach out to people and just touch base with them, activate that relationship and get those connections going. So it's just so much fun. And it's amazing the results that I've seen. I've seen people get clients, people will start reaching out to people, and then other people will come in that they didn't even reach out to, and they get clients. Like it just starts stirring up the connection energy, and that they're ready for that. I've had people who have gotten so inspired that they reached out and reconnected with a sister they hadn't spoken to in 9 years. Introductions to, introductions to companies, speaking engagements. I mean, all sorts of amazing things have happened directly from their follow-up and also indirectly through the community, or just because you were putting all your energy in this, everything started moving. Yeah.
I love it.
The sun grows.
I love it. I love sending my people over there, and I love what it creates. I've heard nothing but great feedback from people who participated. So
yeah, you're so great about sharing it. Thank you.
We'll make sure to include links on that.
When does it start, Laura?
September 30th.
Oh, perfect. Right.
Yeah, and I do have an affiliate program, 50% of the affiliate, and I have some other cool things that are happening through the rest of the year. So, if you sign up for an affiliate for that, then obviously when I come out with my other things too, there's even more potential.
Awesome. So we'll put links for that in the notes that go with this. Laura, thank you so much.
Yeah, this was really fun. You gals are so fun.
We really are.
So are like the epitome of joyful business.
And Laura, before we switch gears, I would love to hear about your beach house experience, because we're switching into talking about the beach events. Is that okay, Cal?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. Just like, what did it mean to you? How were things before you went? And like, were you worried about anything? And then how were things after?
Yeah, when I went to the beach house, well, first of all, beach plus business and cool girlfriends, like how fun is that? To me, that's just, that's where I do my best work, right? My best thinking. Yeah, so many things happened. I went to beach house. So it was this cool, small incubator, for me to say, here's where I'm at in this really safe place. Cause I was in a really funky, technology was breaking, my business was getting ready to expand. So of course, everything that's not supporting that expansion was breaking down. My email, my computer, my desktop literally died, all sorts of stuff. And so that was one thing, just to get that support on some of the practical things of yes, you need to get a new computer. I knew it, but it's yes, make these decisions, and yes, move forward and be able to talk out different options and things like that was incredible. And then, just getting away and going to that, I can't remember, it was a 3-year vision or 5-year vision, but I still think about that of, yeah, I'm creating this vision, in my business and my life. And it was reconnecting to that. And I still connect to that. That's my big why of what it is that I'm creating and moving towards. So that was really powerful. And it was just really fun. And, to me, it's such a great opportunity to go away to the beach, and you get all that self-care walking on the beach, and great food and great company and great adventures that we did. And and then being able to talk about business, because it just flows, whether you're eating or visiting the sloths or whatever adventures we did.
Seeing the sloths is always a fun highlight.
I like the lemurs. They were fun.
Yeah. It was a joy having you at the house, Laura.
Yes.
Thank you.
So glad we got to spend more time together.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's nice to be out of the environment of, like, I love coaching and love the programs and, you know, all of that. But there is something about stepping away and just getting into an informal environment where you get to be in the group and you just have these conversations. And I actually got one of my best testimonials for Fun and Fabulous Follow-Up when I was there with, now I just forgot her name. Yes, Candace. Yes, yeah. She just turned to me and she's like, oh my God, you know, when I did Fun and Fabulous Follow-Up, have I ever told you that my business started out 100% full at the beginning of the year? And it never does that. You know, it's never like that. And anyway, like, she ended up sending me this fabulous testimonial about it. So, like, you never know where these connections are going to go too.
That's what I always find is fascinating, where, you know, we do the masterminding and stuff, and then at the end we're like, okay, what's your biggest takeaway? And they go, okay, well, between sessions I was talking to, and I'm like, pout. Come on, man, we're awesome. They're like, that's great.
Oh, but you are responsible for creating that container, you know, and so yeah, for the learning and the shifts that happen. Yeah.
I don't care where the magic happens. I was just teasing. It's all perfect, exactly how it happens. As long as everybody leaves happy and they've got their goals and they've got their plan, the roadblocks have been blasted through, then our job was done.
Yeah. And I'm doing this Zoom on my new Mac. I converted to a Mac person from a PC person, so I'm very happy.
Yay!
Yay!
You are a Mac person. I'm glad we went that way for you.
I know. I'm like, it's so funny. Now I see it. I've been, every time I watch a movie and there's, you know, they open up their computer, it's always a Mac. Always. Yeah. I'm like, I want to be the Mac girl. I'm a woman who has a Mac.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. It's a Mac or the logo is hidden.
Yes.
Because if they're using a PC, they never like show the logo of what it is. They're either proud of their Mac or they're not proud of their PC.
They're not as proud as that way that the Mac people are. Yeah.
All right, Cal, what else did you want to talk about our upcoming events?
Yeah, well, so speaking of house, Laura was at the house. We do have one spot left at the house. And if anybody is interested in talking with me about that, please do. I'm happy to get on the phone and chat with you about it.
I'm waggling my eyebrows.
And I highly recommend it. If I can just throw in in case you didn't get that from before, it is such a great time to just, yes, focus on your business, but also all the other magic that happens in between. It's amazing. So worth it.
Raven, how many times have you been? 4?
Oh, no, 6. How many have you had?
We've had 11.
Oh,
we're twice in like back to back, so you wouldn't have been at both.
Right.
So,
but no, I've been to nearly all of them except for obviously the back to backs.
Oh, wait a second. Oh.
That was dramatic.
I'm just checking. Raven, are you coming to the beach house this year?
I'm not coming to the house. I'm going to the condo.
Going to the condo. Okay, just making sure I wasn't missing a name here. The house right now, of course, it's Nicole and I. Our co-facilitator, Jessica LaRue, Cindy Bedar, Karen Thaxton, Michelle Meir, formerly SISM, Bellany Deshawn, Angela Wills, Tanya Sutherland, Elaine Allen, Val Selby, and Christina Lemmy.
Oh man, now I want to go to the house.
It doesn't have to be an or, it can be an and.
There are only 2 newcomers. They're all returning. The Beachies just didn't leave any room for y'all. They just took all the space. They said, sorry, we're coming back. The other event, the one that Raven is going to is Beach Condo. That's the first week of February. And
week long.
that's a little bit different. You know, the beach house is 3 intense days working together. The condo is 7 less intense days. We do mastermind each day for about an hour and a half, but we adventure, we relax, we do whatever the hell we want. We have little like pop-up discussions. And so the condo, this is the first time we've done it. It's a new creation, a new imagined event. And that is where we have 4 different condos all in a row, all in the same complex, right on the beach, facing the Pensacola Beach, facing the Gulf of Mexico. So right now for that, we have Raven,
Woo!
Marusha Murphy, Candace Davis, and Elaine Allen. Yes, Elaine is doing the condo and the house because she just wants it all. So my condo is the lemur condo. Nicole is the sloth.
It's
Laid
true.
back. That's where the yoga and meditation will be meeting. Like all the like boop boop boop. Let's do this over here.
We'll be gathering at the lemur condo. That's where the noise will be.
Yeah. Yeah. And then as we fill the other condos, they will take on a shape, a name of their own, with flavor. So if you're interested in being part of condo, talk to me. And then lastly, the event that's coming up at the beginning of May is Beach Camp. This is our
Hotel in Daytona.
this is our hotel conference. This is Beach Camp 7. Like, how's that possible? Beach Camp 2020. And we do have news about speakers. Raven Monique is going to be speaking.
Yay!
Angela Wills, we've invited her down from Canada to speak to the group. She's been to the beach house. She's been creating great success in her business. And then the recent additions, the big happy hell yeses that we've gotten is that Therese Sparkins is coming back to Beach Camp. She's going to be speaking. And Jenna Rodriguez.
Really?
Said
Yep.
yes.
We got her.
Yes.
You may notice that coming to the beach house and beach condo is a way to connect with us and end up speaking at
Go into Croatia with you. Yeah.
Yes.
After we've spent 3 days with you, we've fallen in love with you, we get to know how smart you are, then it's like, yes, let's show them off on stage.
Yes.
Let them lead a workshop.
Yeah, we also have workshops this year. This year's beach camp, we have taken up both of the conference rooms at the hotel. So for the middle session of the day, we're doing workshops where you get to pick between 2 people. So we've got Tracy Roberts is going to be talking about implementing PLR. Of course, Piggy Makes Bank, Tracy and Susanna are the queens of that. We've got Candace Davis talking about outlining your book, not just talking about it, but guiding you through getting it started. We have another gal, Nikki Omohondro, who's going to show you how to take great pictures with your smartphone, teach you all the little secrets and tricks of that. And so we are still scouting out ideas for other workshops yet, but we're super excited about the people that we have speaking.
And the cool thing about beach camp is it is small, it's intimate. So in the workshops, there will be one-on-one time to ask questions. And then we will do topic tables too. which is one of my favorite parts, is when we bring in an expert like Laura or Raven or Sam, and then they sit at a table, or Kelly or I, we sit at a table and give everybody the chance to choose a table. They sit at the table, and Laura may be answering questions about fun and fabulous follow-up, or finding your brilliance, and so everybody gets a turn to ask questions about that topic. Or if I'm leading a table, or if Raven's leading a table about outsourcing to the Philippines, then you can ask her questions about how she finds her designers, and what to do with your books and things like that. So it's very intimate. There's usually a max of 5 people at a table plus the topic table leader. So it's just so cool. It's one of my favorite parts of the weekend.
Yeah. So tickets to Beach Camp this year are $497, but we do have a coupon code that's good right now for $200 off. That's early 200. That's good until October 14th. So that's the best deal that you're going to get right now. And we have some bonuses to send out. We got these together. And I have several left. So I'm still willing to send them out to people who buy their beach camp ticket. So I think I have 6 left. So the next 6 people who buy a ticket, I'm going to send you the Bold Brave Beachy mug, which has the happy yellow color on the inside.
I love that mug.
We've got perky coffee samples for you. We've got a little gift fun thing from Raven at Color Happy. We've got some fun temporary tattoos from Rosie over at Ink Play Love. So those are all ready to ship out as soon as you get your ticket. And so exciting because we've sold a lot of tickets already for next year's event, and it's still a hella long ways away.
Even before we had speakers announced, so
yeah.
People just want the experience.
Yes.
And in deciding which event is right for you, definitely reach out to Kelly, because if your business is at a point where you're ready to leverage and you are making money and doing well, then looking at your investment, beach condo may seem like more money, but once you factor in the cost of your hotel for beach camp, it may not actually be. And are we including breakfast and lunch at beach condo?
Yes, yeah.
And so once you factor in going out to eat those times, and just talk to Kelly about it, or you can reach out to me as well. But as far as which is a better fit for you right now, no pressure at all. We just want to make sure you can make an informed decision so that you're going to the right place, basically.
Yeah. And speaking about joy, the reason we say reach out to me is because I love to talk on the phone. It gives me joy. Nicole's just like, text me.
Well, you can reach out to me as well, but I probably won't get on the phone.
All right.
We're not going to pressure you. We love you. We want what's best for you. And, there's going to be more events. So There's no reason for us to talk you into anything, because we know you're going to come back 6 times like Raven. It just is what it is.
So thanks for letting us share about it, guys. And Laura, thank you again for being our guest today.
You're welcome. It was fun.
Nicole, do you remember who's up next? Next month?
Don't. Actually, I think we don't have someone for next month yet. Okay. So I think there was 1 month we didn't have anybody yet.
Gotcha. Well, we'll figure that out and let you guys know.
Yeah.
Have a fantastic day.
Bye. Thank you all for your time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. This was fun. I liked listening in on you guys. Awesome. I'm inspired.
Thanks for being here, Cindy.
I was so happy to see
you pop up. Me too. I'm so excited. I am relaunching this is my month. I am stretching myself, setting a deadline. So September 30th, my life will look totally different. I'm so excited.
Woo!
Yeah. Cool.
Have Hashtag stretch yourself. Oh, y'all are awesome.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.